Oh, for fuck's sake, I was about to do it too.
All right. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Jackie's Harsh Reality. And
It's not mine. This was your idea.
Of course. It's always my idea. Everything's my fault. Well, that's what happens. When you have great power comes great responsibility. See, look at these two. Hoey and Hyde. I want to take this show seriously, but on the other hand, I don't know. I don't take life seriously anymore. Everything's a freaking psyop anyway. But since we will, let me at least try to have some professionalism on this show. And of course, we have a special guest, Mr. Gambit Constatine. How are you doing, sir? Gambit.
Good. How about you?
I'm doing great. Very great. Just what a crazy week it's been, hasn't it? Just a crazy week.
It's been eventful.
Yeah, I don't know what logic is anymore. I don't know what common sense is anymore. But all I know is somehow you're in Everett, Washington.
I am. Having a nice little vacation, you know. I mean, figured why not before the year's over? Take a nice little trip.
God, I am so envious of you right now. It's been 15 years since we went since I went up to the Pacific Northwest. It is so beautiful when it's not overrun by political nonsense.
Yeah, we're decided to go, visit my little brother that lives in Washington, so why not? And decided to stop here, and it's pretty nice.
It is. It really is. And of course, we have Miss Jackie Hyde, who chooses to be off camera because she's upset at one of us, or whatever.
Or both.
I'll let you guys figure that one out.
I said something, he laughed. There we go.
I know, and vice versa. All right, and now, but so you know what? Do we have any lottery ticket winnings? Because I know we have some very special numbers to read out, don't we?
That we do. It would be 53.
Hold on. Let me get this. Tonight's winning numbers for the imaginary lottery, for the lottery that never existed. Okay. Hold on.
It is 53.
It's
92.
53. It's 53 and
92. 73. 0.
Hold on. It's 73.
0.
0.
And Powerball is at 71.
All right. So let's repeat that for the audience. It's 53, 92, 73, 0, and 1.
71.
73, 0, and 71, correct?
Yep. Correct. Powerball is 71.
All right, so for those of you watching the now,
you posted that with all
it's
the
53,
pages.
92, 73, 0, and 71.
That is correct.
Punch it in and see what you guys got.
I gotta turn my beer can away because we ain't sponsoring this shit. So,
God. I mean, you could have it there, give them free advertisement. I could care less. It's not my issue, but
until they offer to pay, no.
All right, fair. That's fair enough. And tonight's a dream spot. Tonight's a town of the night. Town of the week is Everett, Washington. Correct?
That is correct.
Now, what got to this point? How do we get to this point? How do we get here? How do we get here? How do we get to Everett, Washington?
Yeah. How?
Yes, Gambit. How did we get to Everett, Washington tonight? Because I don't understand it. I don't get it. Of course. So how do we get to Everett, Washington?
Well, just kind of felt like driving.
How beautiful of a town is it? Tell us what it makes it so like has it what is so important.
No, like
Really.
the weather's been pretty nice so far. I mean, I just
Happy to
want to
hear.
go visit my little brother and stop here. You know, I mean, because as you know, I've had hospital issues and stuff like that, and
Right.
I spent like 2 weeks out of a month in the hospital, and well, because of that, I lost my job, so just felt like going, and
That's
figure I
good.
come back, I'll look for a job and stuff like that. I mean, we got money saved aside, so
No, of course. That's a beautiful thing. I want to make a trip out there one of these days, one of these weeks, maybe.
yeah,
We'll
I just hope this issue don't happen again, and I end up in the hospital again. So
yeah, life is short. Life is precious.
I'd rather be close to home when I go to the hospital, but not in Everett, Washington. So
No.
yeah,
Especially when you're that close to Vancouver, it's a shame. And Seattle, both the two, gorgeous cities. When again, when politics and sports don't get in the way of it.
actually, there was one time though. That's why I'm nervous about it. Is because there was one time me and my wife went to go camping in the Badlands in South Dakota. Beautiful, like no lights around, so you're able to see like flying stars everywhere, like shooting stars everywhere. It was beautiful. 3:00 in the morning, we just were laying there, and we had our tent open and everything. We just watched them fly. And on the way home, my pancreas started acting up again, and so I had to deal with it for 7 hours till we got back into hometown to.
God,
Yeah, that sucked.
that's really bad. That's horrific.
Yeah, every pothole, everything. I was just.
That's not good. And in the meanwhile, for those of you who want to get one of these nice shirts, you can go on the CSHR radio website and go to the shop, and you can buy one of them. Absolutely. So we got that going on right now. Let's see who's watching from where. Okay. Now, I just understand. So I'm just glad we were able to talk about Washington. For those of you who are just tuning in, just remember the lottery winner, tonight's winning lottery numbers for the lottery that never existed, of course, is 53, 92, 73, 0, and 71. 73, 0, and 7. Once again, that's 53, 92, 73, 0, and 71. I can't believe that's real. Here we are. God. Jackie's just writing down the notes. Writing them down. Absolutely.
Her mic's off.
I know. She turned it off on purpose.
I did.
I know.
No.
I know she did.
I did. I was, yeah. Anywho, carry on.
No.
Listen, Harsh, you know this. If you tell me to start that we're starting at a time, I start smoking weed at the time you tell me we agree that we're gonna start at.
Yeah, no.
So I get really, really high by the time you finally show up.
Right, but we did that because we had some extra breaking information tonight that needed to.
I'm aware, and I'm sitting here laughing and making notes about it.
So I wonder, we were talking about the Canadian that got arrested.
The Canadian originally that I was telling you about the stages of frustration before I went, oh, never mind.
The stages of frustration is great, but you were talking about a man who was in the United States selling weapons to Russia. Was it selling weapons or selling seeds?
I need to get there it is.
Electronics.
No, I can't say his name because he's actually he was a Canadian Russian. I'll fuck his name all the way up. But yeah, he got arrested for selling $7 million in weapons parts. But the weapon parts were just like electronic little Motherboards. Did I delete them again?
No, you did not. That was actually me because I wanted you to talk about other stuff. But no. So tell me more about the weapons.
No, you literally just. What? You carry on.
Tell me more about the weapons. What type of weapons were being sold? This
I just
Canadian
said what they were.
It
military.
was electronics, yeah.
Yeah, it was like basically like motherboards and shit for
That's good.
like guidance systems and stuff like that. And he was selling them to Russia.
Right.
But yeah, he's being charged in the States. He's Canadian.
I think Gambit had some interesting thoughts on this as well.
Oh, I got way too many thoughts on that because if they're actually charging him because he sold them to Russia, but they wouldn't do the same with Ukraine. Like I said before, if you drive on the same road but with a different car, you drive with a Ford Taurus versus a Chevy, Stingray, Corvette, speed limit's still the same.
Right.
So if they're not going to charge them in one spot, then.
Well, the whole reasoning behind it is because, like I was saying, like in February of last year, if I'm correct, they sanctioned, so like you weren't allowed to sell those parts to Russia. The U.S. put the sanctions in.
Right.
But then, but once again, it's the same speed limit on the same road, same county, everything, same road, but it's more or less an issue not for our police, our military. It's more or less an issue for the Geneva Convention.
But what I don't understand is that you mentioned this earlier. It's like, okay, they sold to Russia. It's horrible. But yet, if he sold them to the Ukraine, no one would have said anything.
As I said, it's not an issue before you night crawled your way out again, but
I get it now. Now I get it.
Yep.
Yeah, I get it.
But if you,
wow.
There you go.
Yep. But if you it shouldn't be an issue for our military. It should be an issue for our police. It should be an issue for the Geneva Convention that sees all of it.
Exactly. You shouldn't be having private. You shouldn't be having, private individuals selling weapons to other countries. But at the same time, most of this, foreign aid is nothing but people selling but the government giving money to private contractors for weapons.
Well,
so it's twofold either way.
I got two stories for that one. All right.
Yeah.
First one is actually probably the better one. First one is I worked in Douglas County, but I was driving into Arapahoe County. I was going 30 miles over the speed limit, got pulled over from a Douglas County officer in Arapahoe County.
Right.
They were trying to figure out who could stop me. Well, Arapahoe County came. They couldn't do anything because they didn't see anything, so I didn't get a ticket. I didn't realize I was going over 30 miles an hour. I was listening to Radar Love by Golden Earring, and that song kicks and also, yeah. I had a souped up engine, so yeah. But the other one is I used to be an ex-gangbanger in my early 20s, right? And I told you this story, And remember, I told you I was shot in the head. I mean,
correct. Yeah.
I mean, I got the scar right there.
Yeah.
But
actually, let's see that again for the audience.
Right there.
Okay. I see it a little bit now.
Yeah, but the thing is that was attempted murder, but they didn't arrest the guy for attempted murder. They got him for felony menacing.
Right.
Due to the fact of I was literally like a half a mile outside of city limits, so they couldn't figure out if it was a county issue for the sheriffs to deal with or a city issue for the police to deal with.
Right.
So once again, when it comes down to it, the Geneva Convention they take care of it all.
Yeah, they just tend to pick and choose when the Geneva Convention is there, when it's not there. A lot of these doctrines and a lot of these laws, they tend to pick and choose when to enforce them and when not to. I mean, it's no different than the UN and their laws toward Russia and the Soviet Union. but then they'll throw a fit about, some other countries trying to do the same thing.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, the UN pretends to give a. It's kind of weird. It's like the UN pretends to care about Israel, but to do absolutely nothing for the Palestinian people, but yet, like, they'll supposedly send aid to Haiti, but then they're not going to care that the Clinton Foundation and UNICEF are there to, traffic children and cause chaos to the point where 15 years later, their immigrants are, the people there are fleeing for America and doing all sorts of heinous stuff because of the Clinton Foundation. It's just weird. It's like they just pick and choose when to care. It's like the Soviets have the right, the Russians, according to the UN bylaws of the early 90s, have every right to go into Ukraine, Poland, and the Eastern Bloc and reclaim their lands back. But on the other hand, if other countries do the same, it's like, wait a second, what's going on here? So
well,
very messed
it goes
up.
back to the whole fact of like we've talked about before, like the president doesn't run anything.
No.
It's big pharma,
big pharma,
all that
big
kind of stuff.
big alcohol, big whatever. Yeah.
Business, everything. And guess what? The biggest business is actually the stock market, in all honesty. But the thing is like, when you think about it, you get the stock market involved. Well, all it is just, it's just that. It's just, so I mean, the biggest thing, basically what I'm getting at, I'm trying to figure out the words to say it, is the biggest business in the world alone is war.
It is.
Ammunition, all that kind of stuff. So that's all they're fighting on, is they're fighting over guns, ammunition, electronics, hard drives, everything, because that is their stock market.
Yeah, Halliburton and there's a reason why Halliburton and BlackRock dominate the stock market. It's because war is big business. I mean, there's a reason they say all wars are banker wars, because they are.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like, I'm a comic book nerd, but Iron Man, the first one, got it right with that, with that whole, armor trades.
Yeah, it did. And the crazy part about Iron Man 1 is he got it. He was able to discover the technology while working in a cave in Afghanistan, of all people.
Right.
Well, time by yourself gives you a lot of time to think of that kind of stuff, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And if you got that much brains, too, like, damn.
MacGyver.
Yeah.
MacGyver. That guy could, like, take water and a paper clip and a piece of paper and turn it into a bomb.
Right.
He really was. And the closest thing to MacGyver was like Michael Weston from Burn Notice, because a lot of the same stuff MacGyver was doing, he was doing. And then after that, I don't know anyone else.
That dude, I don't know anybody else who's seen that show besides me.
But which one?
Burn Notice.
I saw all 7 seasons of it.
Same here. When it was on Netflix, I binge watched that shit.
I watched it live on USA back in the day. I watched it back then. I was like, oh, this is a great show.
I was too poor for cable.
Yeah. No. It was
now cable's just too. I don't even have TV. I just have internet TV. I have Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu.
Well, everything's all streaming services anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But that being said, no, I mean, I always struggle with: am I Michael Weston or am I Sam Axe? But I don't want to be either, because they're both old.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. I mean, on one hand, Michael Weston's like the craftiest person you can ever think of, but on the other hand, he's an idiot who always like burns his own bridges. But then he got Sam Axe, like this fat alcoholic, but on the other hand, he's like the most connected guy there is. So
I've never seen it. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Burn Notice is a good show. If you ever come across it, it's about a guy who was, what was he, CIA?
Yeah, he was a CIA agent. Yeah, he used
to
be.
He got a burn notice. What a burn notice is basically they just want to kill you because you know too much, but you're basically forced to retire at the same time.
Yeah, you're blacklisted.
So, yeah, you're basically blacklisted, and now he's basically solving crimes while running from them.
Yep.
Good, it's a good show.
And then he has to basically find his way, try to either work his way back with them, or he has to, or he has to destroy them. Either way, it's a very good show to watch. And his best friend and the people that are the closest in his life are people he meets trying to like fuck him over. So it's still.
Sad part is you probably know more people than I do because I try and stay as ghost as possible.
Yeah, well, that's because of different industries and different lives and all that. That's from my time in politics, my time in activism, and my time in the music, in my time in the local music scene. So, yeah, that goes without saying. In a life of a party, that tends to happen.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of energy.
Yeah, no, not yeah. Yeah, but that was way back when. Now it's all about how Jackie Hyde has some other stuff to talk about. I think
No, I have nothing to talk about now.
nothing at all.
Come on, Ivy.
The only thing that I even remotely had that I was gonna complain about, I can't complain about anymore.
Why can't you complain about it?
It's really my only quarrel with it because I was like, dude, you want to sell electronics to Russia? I mean, like, I'd do it to make $7 million.
Oh, okay. That's what you meant.
I can't even be mad.
No.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, my aunt got a laptop that was falling out the back of the truck from my mom's friend.
Right.
I mean, that's all it basically is. It fell off the back of a truck somewhere.
Right.
No, it's like past that, I'm like, I really didn't give a shit about anything because the news is just a bunch of useless crap, and I don't socialize with people out here no more.
Yeah. It is kind of weird. Once you realize everything is fake and staged, you tend to just not really care about anything.
No, and everybody pisses me off. Like, everybody's stupid.
Yeah. I mean,
they drive like idiots.
Right. I mean, it gets to the point where you start understanding why the elites want to like kill off millions of people, because you're like, people are idiots. They kind of consent to their own death and destruction and degeneracy. So what the heck are we even trying to save here?
No, I say let it burn, because that's going to be a hell of a lot more fun than anything we got going on right now. And yeah.
So we're both 37.
Yeah.
She's a year older. So do you remember back in the day when we had the saying FTW?
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yep. Literally. That was tagged everywhere for like a long time. Actually, I found it when I went on a hike like 3 years ago. It was a nice little blast from the past.
Right. I had that all over my notebook. I covered my notebook in full duct tape and all that, the cover parts of the duct, and drill over with marker. And yeah, that was my biggest thing back in the day when I was in high school was FTW.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, that's all you can say, because.
Oh, and when everybody wanted to know if everybody knew what anti-establishmentarianism is. Holy crap, I don't even think I can say it anymore now. Fuck. It's so long since I've said it.
Anti-establishing.
It's a tongue twister. Yeah, I can't say it anymore.
Anti-establishmentarians?
Yeah.
I thought I was cool in high school when I told my teacher that I can't go to class, and she was like, "Why not?" I was like, "I have didascalion phobia." Look it up. Look up what didascalion phobia is.
Probably a fear of sitting down.
A fear of school.
Dyad.
DID.
Yes.
Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, yeah. See, the teacher I pulled it on was stupid enough to put a list on her desk of all the phobias, including fear of peanut butter, everything like that. And I made sure I learned that one really quick.
All right. That's the crazy part. Now looking back at it, looking back on the education system and all that, I'm starting to think the education system is just there to indoctrinate people, because the most intelligent people I know of, some of them may have degrees and diplomas, but a lot of them don't. A lot of them are just people who are so well read. You're like, oh my God, how do you know that?
What they did, in honesty, is I actually have a friend. I dated her when we were 16 years old. You know, we dated for like 2 weeks. You know, we're still friends to this day. You know, it was just a stupid little fling, you know.
Right, yes.
But she became a teacher, because, let's see, she moved from Colorado to Maryland, and then she became a teacher's assistant. And with that, she became a teacher for elementary school kids because she became a teacher's assistant first. Well, she actually felt bad about it. You know, that she was able to be a teacher. Well, everyone else around her has diplomas and shit. She went back to school and got her diploma just so she can do it legit. Now she's living in Florida.
Yeah.
It's like,
no, I mean,
and actually, weirdly enough, she has the same name as you too. Her name is Jackie.
Of course, Jackie's a very popular name.
Actually, back then she went by Jacqueline, but now it's Jackie. So,
Jackie, that's a nice name. But I mean, it's just weird just seeing like how the most well-read people I know of did never really took their education that seriously, and it's just very, very bizarre considering, you know, for my family, education was very important, but and then knowing what I know now about the world, it's messed up, you know? It's just messed up.
It's really messed up.
Yeah, it's messed up and messed up. You know? And there's certain people in Everett, Washington that probably could use some extra meth at this point.
Probably.
I mean, my God, if that's what certain people look like clean and sober.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine if they weren't on drugs though?
Oh man. I don't even want to.
Like I said, I had the luxury of not getting to know people because smart.
Yeah. For some reason today, Jackie looks like she's from Russia. She's got the hood and everything.
I warned you. I said I was getting high. Getting very stoned. I smoked 3 joints waiting for you.
Yeah, she's got like the babushka look.
Yeah. I'm wearing my hoodie. It's cold. It's Canada and it's dark out.
Actually, last time we did this chat, you said I kind of look like, you know, Eminem with my hair buzzed.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of got that Eminem look going.
When did I say that?
You said it last time when I was on here last.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like,
yeah.
I'm trying to go for a fade here, but you know,
sure, might trash anyways.
But now she's got the hood up and everything. Just, you know,
I know she's got the Marshall Mathers look.
I told you it's cold out. Damn.
Babushka.
Yeah, I know. Our boy, you know, was telling me that it was snowing a couple days ago up there. I'm like,
oh yeah,
yeah, it was. Actually, not right where I was, but about 4 hours north of me. Yeah, it snowed for 2 days.
Yeah. And poor Canadians. It's like 70 degrees.
Fall was fake. Fall was fake again.
Like, here I am complaining about Chicago weather, and yet it's like 70 degrees, and I can still wear shorts.
Now, see, the thing is,
you fall in a hole. Like you picked on my name.
No, seriously, with Ivy, with you being in Canada, how bad does it piss you off that the center part of your flag is a maple leaf and not a weed leaf?
Oh, I just changed it to a weed leaf anyways. Fuck it.
I mean,
it's not like our flag means anything.
You're that close.
Close.
That's why we legalized it. Come on.
Well, so did we.
Miss Herbalations herself.
Colorado and Washington did it first.
Yeah.
In Colorado, you can throw a stone and hit a dispensary.
Oh, throw a stoner?
Huh?
Of course, you'll find a weed store.
Oh no, I used to go to dispensaries all the time, but I haven't smoked since I was 20. But it doesn't go good with my bipolar disorder. But I got lotion and all that, like THC lotion for my knee. You know, but no, seriously, if you drive down I-70 right by Quebec Street and through Denver, that's where they actually like they have grow houses, and you roll the windows down. I still love the smell of it. Don't get me wrong, but
that's dope.
Yeah, I won't go anywhere near that. That street has hell named all over it. I'm good.
What?
Quebec Street.
Fuck that place.
It's a joke. She's from Western Canada. They don't like the Quebecois.
Freaking French.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, crazy Canuck.
Right. Oh yeah, David's actually half French, by the way.
Yeah, well, I appealed to his not French side.
Actually, a quarter French, a quarter German, and the rest of me is Native American.
Right. So
that's how I know about the Aniwaya.
Right.
That's actually my clan.
The what? The which one?
Aniwaya. That's actually my clan, my family clan.
Oh, yeah. He's actually so he's part French. I'm just letting you know that, Jack.
Yeah, because you just like to breed hatred. I swear it is like something you just wake up every day and you go, how can I piss everybody off today? And then you proceed to do them all, and then you go, I'm gonna go to bed, and then you sleep like a baby.
Hey, you know what? It's not my fault. I'm just opening up.
No, do you know why I have mental problems? Seriously?
Because
you want to know why I have mental problems?
Why? Well,
no, actually, I had them before him, but
I know why.
Okay, well, he made them worse, and yeah.
I am part German, part French, and part Native American. Yeah. White people came over here, so the Germans chase the French around and all that kind of stuff like crazy. The French come over here, mate with the Native Americans, but guess what? The white people also come and fuck the French or fuck the Native Americans around. So I'm just chasing myself around like crazy. That's why I'm fucking bipolar and don't. What the fuck's going on?
So basically, what I got from that is you just want to completely fuck yourself.
Yeah,
that's the best thing to do in jail. In all honesty, if someone's trying to fuck you, just run around and chase them back, trying to fuck them back too.
Yeah. Ross says harshes are reincarnated. Hey, you know what? I'm just gonna say it. They don't tell us the truth about World War II. They don't tell us the truth about that. The brown shirts never died. They just infiltrated they just infiltrated the US and the Soviet Union. And England. And France. That's all they did. They never died.
I can happily say I'm half German, half Welsh. That's it. That's all.
Yeah. You know what I don't understand. Everyone makes such a big deal about the French or this, the French or that, but yet the French are the ones who revolt against their government when they get higher taxes. The French.
There's a difference between France and Anglo, like the francophone nonsense we have in Canada. Yeah, those are
France is completely
different, but they're both still very largely assholes. Like if you actually meet the people, like the people themselves, just assholes.
No, I agree with you because the French have not had balls since fucking Marie Antoinette. But at the same time, like with here in America, like we went to Vietnam for the French and they fucking walked away. When we went in to help them, they walked away. You know, like, oh, they're here to help us, but you guys got this. It's like Josh working on a freaking car. Yes, Mr. Concannon, I'm talking about you. You're welcome, Scott. So it's like, you know, he fucking Frenched the shit out of that one.
Well, no,
that's what he did. No, Scott's son went in there to go help him, and he gave him a 6-pack of beer. He's like, why don't you fucking do it? And then that's how we lost the Vietnam War, was due to that fact.
Okay, if we're going by the Banker War history, okay, yes, the French bailed out while the U.S. did. But I'm talking about the more recent incarnation of the French. The guys who are the yellow vesters who are rioting against their government because of higher tax rates, rioting against the government because they're threatening to push the retirement age over there from 62 to 64. There is something to be said about that.
But I mean, if you look at the rest of all of a lot of the other countries though too, they're doing it as well. For some reason, the Western world, we're so freaking reliant on so much shit, and we're so fucking lazy. We're just sheep. Like most of the people in these freaking countries, they're nothing but sheep. Why the entire world is nothing over here. We're just disguised and fed to believe that we're the best. that
You
North
get
America is the best continent. But in reality, like Australia did it too. They revolted. They went up. They actually went and did a hell of a lot more than even Canada did. Granted, we would have got away with more if the government didn't seize our bank accounts.
Well, the Australians have fewer rights than the Americans and the Canadians.
Like a lot of countries outside of the Western world have done that. They have rose up. They've done a hell of a lot more than we did.
Right. But I'm saying the fact that the French of all people have done that, it's kind of hard for me to sit there and say, to make fun of how the French are this, that, and the third when they're the ones revolting more than the U.S.
All right. Well, I got a question for you. Hypothetically.
Correct. Yes.
I come to Chicago.
Mm.
I go to New York. I go to, say, California. Basically, you tell me where to meet you at because you're in trouble. And I meet you wherever you're at. You're on vacation. You're wherever you want to be.
Right.
And I show up there, ready to throw down.
Right.
And you walk away while I handle the business. But the moment I call you, 9/11, for instance, you're like, you got this.
I mean, if we're going by the banker war history, okay, fine, I agree with it. But if you really want to go back further than that, when it came to the Independence War, if we're going to go by this type of history too, who the hell was helping the U.S. defeat the colonials, defeating the British? It was the French and the Haitians. They were the ones doing it. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it all depends.
I mean, but at the same time, like, that's what makes you a man. Well, French ain't men. I'm telling you that much right now. The French ain't men.
No, not even close.
If we're going by the banker war history, sure, they're not. But if we're going by what they've been doing lately, I don't know if I can say that.
This is not even lately. This is as far as back in this Vietnam War.
Yeah, but
we showed up and they ran
ended damn near 50 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. So it's not as recently.
That's what I'm saying. But if I'm going by recently time, like the yellow vest people, rising up against,
Well, then I'll go back as far as 2001. To me, that's still recent.
I mean,
that's recent to a lot of people.
I would like to think that's recent, but I mean,
time is dependent to each freaking person. You really think about it.
Yeah, but if you want to talk about 9/11, Israel did 9/11, and no one even talks about that. I mean, who are we kidding?
I mean, yeah, but that depends on who you believe.
You couldn't go down the block without a single person raising the red, white, and blue flag. Red, white, and blue flags went through the ceiling.
Right.
All that kind of stuff. But guess what? When we went to war over that, Canada was by our side and England was by our side. And I bet you still to this day, if something were to happen to Canada and something were to happen to England and they asked us for our help, we would be there. The French still wouldn't.
All right. Well,
they're like, it's not my fight.
I mean, if you feel that way about the French, imagine how you should feel about Israel and Saudi Arabia. I'm just saying.
We should not discuss how we feel about them. Just saying.
No, you're correct. That's kind of my point. It's like if you have this much Israel for the French and you read the 20 unredacted pages, you'd hate Saudi Arabia and Israel even more. That's all I'm going to say about that.
And I'm just going to say I can't discuss it because of this video, and I say what I feel, I'll get arrested in this country for that because it's fucking hate speech.
Yeah, you probably would. That's why I'm happy to say 109 countries is not just a troll. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, the thing is, though, is it's not the person that speaks. Like, you can have like hundreds of thousands of the French people saying, we want to fight and help the Americans. But it's what their leader says and puts a bad taste in your mouth.
I mean, at the end of the day, the French riot for their retirement ages are raised from 62 to 64. When's the last time this country's even done a general strike?
Did you ever see the work hours in Europe? Period.
Yeah, they're a lot less than here.
Less days, less hours, paid more.
Because they fight for that. U.S. don't. People in this country don't, or this continent really don't do that.
They're lazy.
Well,
the government's willing to give them handouts. That's a huge thing to them. So the more money that the government decides to be like, hey, we're going to give you this to sit at home and continue to stare at your TV screens and your computer screens. We're going to pay you to do this. You get the more people doing that, then you have a hell of a lot more control over them. And you have to have people work more to keeping that money going. Right? So it's a lose-lose situation, but it's also a win situation for the whole,
It all
lizard
depends.
people. Sure, we'll go with
Now,
lizard people.
like, if you know, but it all depends on which pill you want to take, the red one or the blue one. And most people,
Exactly my point.
That is true.
Just saying, but it still benefits
right
the other side.
And for the record, I don't ever want to talk about the people of any country or the people of any religion, as much as it's just the governments that cause it. But the one thing I will say is when it comes to the people in certain countries or any other countries, you also can't complain about your leaders if you're not willing to go against them every so often. That's
you ever watch George Carlin's,
Yes.
you ever have no right to complain if you didn't vote?
Yeah.
That thing right there is like,
You have no right to complain if you didn't vote, but you have no right to complain if you did vote because you voted for this.
Yep. It's like I was sitting on my couch. It's like doing nothing. It's like,
right. But no, I mean, people do need to fight for their rights. I mean, that's all there is.
Oh, yeah.
It can't just be everyone just is comfortable. Everyone's like, oh, well, there's nothing we could do. It's all screwed up. Because if that's the case, then, I hate to say this, but if that's the case, then we don't need to be doing this. Really, we don't need to communicate with other people. We don't need to network or any of that. It's okay. Well, if that's the case, then all right, see y'all later. I'll just do my own thing.
I mean, that's what pisses me off is when people don't do anything.
Right.
Because, all it takes is one swift move. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what that one swift move is? Every person that owes taxes, not pay them.
Yeah. Not even forget not paying them. How about don't file them?
You don't file them. You just gotta go to your work because you can do it. You can do it. You can go to your boss. Well, I mean, you can here and say, "Don't take taxes off my check. I'll pay them myself."
Yeah.
You can legally do that.
Well, here's the thing, though, too. In America, I don't know how it is in Canada, but there is actually no law whatsoever. No law that actually states you have to pay taxes on your job. And the thing is they still tax you at the end of the year and all that, and you have to pay taxes. And basically the judges are even so afraid of the IRS and stuff like that. And they even just say, just do it. There's only been 2 people in the history of America that have ever beaten it whatsoever. Of not paying their taxes because there's nowhere in the laws that say that I actually have to pay this.
No, the only amendment that exists when it comes to the income tax is the one that says, the U.S. has a right to have federal tax, but they don't. But there's no law that says, oh, you have to pay it. But then again, the way you structure your money, the way some people can structure their bank accounts or whatnot, they can easily structure in such a way where they never have to pay taxes on their income at all, in trust and LLCs and 501(c)(4)s as well. So I mean, it depends.
Did I ever tell you what my grandfather did when he owed taxes?
What did he do?
He owed state $1. He made a payment arrangement.
Good for him.
Paid a nickel. He actually wasted a check and wasted the stamp money to send them a nickel on a payment arrangement for $1. Well, every once in a while, it's 25 cents. Like it was like once or twice, it was 25 cents he'd throw in there. But yeah, my grandfather, he's a Vietnam vet, and he's
That's dope. Now, I mean, the only thing the 16th Amendment does is just say it gives the power to levy Congress the power to levy tax without regard to population, but it doesn't say, oh, you have to pay taxes or else.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't say that.
Wording's everything.
Yeah, yes, it is, especially when it comes to law. Yeah.
You suckered me into this, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
He's
Yes.
good at that.
We have fun conversations. We laugh and we joke, and then we do a show and we get serious.
Well, because unfortunately, that's what the show
Yet
constitutes.
Harsh comes on here and goes, I kind of want to be serious about this.
Well, I always say that when we're talking about like topics that are important, or so you don't get all glib and jokey playing with all the buttons on StreamYard. But that's neither here nor there.
You know what? I wish you just mind your business about my tantrums.
I know, but at the same time, you got me on a tangent bringing Josh Von Cannon's taste in my mouth.
I know. I apologize for that part. That's too much. We can only have one dramatic early 30-something at a time. We can't have two.
Hey, what were the lottery numbers again? I can't remember.
I believe the lottery number. I'm so glad that you asked. I believe the lottery numbers for tonight were 53, 92, 73, 0, and 71. That's 53, 92, 73, 0, and 71.
If you're a winner, please call in now.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? On second thought, I guess I am one of the brown shirts. What am I kidding?
Yeah, I was about to say, like, literally, you posted that comment, and I'm looking at the cult's comment. I'm like, that is.
I mean,
There you go, Harsh.
I mean, I did mention the 109 countries, and I have been posting a lot of I have been posting a lot of how do I explain this? Anti-David posts lately. So, and I don't mean David by the name Theory. I mean David David the Star David. Post.
What the frick is wrong?
You know who David Theory is, don't you?
Yes.
I don't know. So some French white guy.
Oh yeah.
Anyway. Oui.
I think we made it 47 minutes. Have a great week, you guys.
Wow.
You ever think that's actually how they came up with the name though? Like, I mean, the French are so stupid. In all honesty, the French are so stupid. Like, I gotta go to the bathroom. They're actually speaking perfect English and all that, and they're like, "Are you sure? Oui."
Okay. And on that note, this has been another edition of
I made her choke.
And this is what happens.
Oh my God, I'm out.
You joke, and then this is what happened. He's seen some posts that I've made about, the fake chosen people, and this is what happens. Anyway, on that note, this has been another edition of The Harsh Reality. This is Harsh Schmidt signing off. I love you. The life is harsh, but to live it. We thank Jackie Hyde for being her stereotypical self. We thank Gambit for coming on short notice. And, and sometimes you have to do the things you're afraid of doing the most. And other times you just got to sip on that tea. Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your beautiful Thursday night or early Friday morning. Tune in tomorrow when we have the when we have our regular show, Random Happen, CSHR Radio Random Happenings, where your favorite cast of cartoon characters come on to the show. Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of